about a good friend I had the last couple years of her life. I got to know Margaret Mead really well, and we worked together. And one of the things that she said I think helps us, and it really speaks to your background and your teaching at Dartmouth and so forth, in science and medicine. Most people don't realize, but Margaret Mead had 2 full careers after anthropology. She was one of the founders of the study of feedback cybernetics, and she also was in the founding of the Society of General Systems Research. So there's 2 whole bodies of science that she began in the senior years of her life. Now, why do I mention this? Because one of the questions she put to me was this, and I think it really gets to the way you've been talking in science and medicine. She said, how do you create models and systems which are organic and natural as opposed to arbitrary and man-made? And this gets to your point of fear. She said the intention behind arbitrary man-made models in science or in anything is the manipulation and control of people.
Manipulation and control of people.
So what she was effectively saying, well, I'll get to the commentary in a minute. So she said the difference with the intention of organic, natural models, they have as their intention resonance and reverence. And so basically what she was doing was giving us the language to transform the entire institution of science from manipulation and control to resonance and reverence. So when you talk about fear, I think there's an awful lot of fear around what are we going to do with science and what are we going to do with rationality, and is this all just touchy-feely, yum-yum? What is it we're going through here? And I take great comfort in that notion of shifting the whole enterprise of science and human reason from manipulation and control and all the other things we've named, greed and arrogance and fear, to resonance and reverence. And I think, again, back to the film, when you get to be with these indigenous elders who, as you said a minute ago, have never lost their integrity and their union with Mother Nature, when you can feel how they live and how they think and how they speak, then you're talking about resonance and reverence. And I would just like to say that that's a very hopeful thing, that we can take what appears to be the military-industrial complex and has nothing to do but making weapons from one year to the next, and ask that entire enterprise to shift its purpose to resonance and reverence from manipulation and control. I was once in a scientific meeting in Seattle and they were trying to figure out what to do with all the nuclear subs when we stopped using them as weapons. And there wasn't anybody in the room crazy enough except me to say, well, maybe we could go down and look around the bottom of the ocean and make friends with the fish and whatever. They were all still stuck on weaponing, you know.
Make friends with the fish.
Yeah.
What's best for the fish is best for us. Yeah. I'm quoting a young scientist, Ben Neal, who I know as a former fellow of the Island Institute, who's now at Scripps Institute. And Ben, little commercial for a film that I'm involved with on the tidal generation. Ben is one of our advisory council members. And some years ago, when it was around an election, it was a presidential election, I was talking with Ben about that, and he said, well, I always vote for what's best for the fish. So let's make friends with the fish.